Not yet.
Yes, now.
Hello, we are live. You are live. Hello, and welcome to the Our Turf podcast on Tuesday night. I am your co-host this evening, Lisa Johnson, along with my other co-host, Sonia Greenfield.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Sonia?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to get this started. It'll be fun, just you and me, just us
It
here.
is. And we're, just us rocking it tonight. And we have a special guest coming up for you guys, especially Miami Dolphin fans. We got a very special guest going to be joining us in 5 minutes. But first, I kind of wanted to thank Donkey's Cheesesteak in Medford, Mount Holly, and Camden for another year of sponsoring this podcast. So I want a big shout out for Donkey's. And see, Kate's not here, so I don't have to explain why I haven't gotten her donkey shirt yet. But it's in the mail. It's going to be in the mail. So
it's coming. And it's actually kind of it's going to be like our running joke now. And since we're talking about offense,
see, now I can't send it, right?
Exactly. Now you can't send it because it's our running joke. Because like I was about to say, like for offensive linemen, TJ Lang in Detroit a couple of years before he retired did a thing, and he would always say, like, he would interview people talking with TJ. That's what it was called, and he would interview just random teammates, and he would say, Matthew was supposed to get us chairs, Matthew Stafford, and he get us chairs, and so that was just the running joke throughout the whole thing. So our running joke right now is, you're just not going to send those shirts, are you?
Now I can't, because we need the running joke. So what happens, like, if I go down tomorrow and I send them off to you, then we won't have anything to joke about.
Exactly.
So,
right.
but I did find them. I finally got my house unpacked, and I finally did get them. And speaking of offensive linemen, we're going to have a great show to start off with tonight. Richmond Webb, Miami Dolphins, All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, offensive lineman, and Miami Dolphin Honor Roll is going to join us. We're going to do some talk about some offensive line. So, because I've got some issues, I got some concerns, Sonia. I need some answers on this offensive line. And so, it's great that we're going to jump into the trenches. We're going into the trenches of football tonight. We're going into the trenches, because everybody knows football is won in those trenches. Whoever controls that line of scrimmage is going to win that game. Mm-hmm. And it's offensive. Dana's not here, so the whole show we can do offensive. We can talk about quarterback.
Be great tonight, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna defense. We're gonna talk about any defense tonight. So we're gonna go offense. We're gonna talk about the fiasco that's going on in Cleveland right now with Baker Mayfield and some of the issues there. That is a head scratcher. So got some concerns there with Baker. We're gonna run around to the new changes, new overtime rules are going to change. So we got some good, exciting news there. At least I'm happy about it. Sonny, we'll powwow on that.
Yeah.
But we definitely are going to talk about Detroit. So, because Detroit got some big news this week.
Yep.
Motown. So Hard Knocks is going to come the Lions' way. So we're going to get to see good old head coach Dan Campbell taking some knees out, right, in preseason and postseason. And I mean, preseason. Look, I'm already putting you all in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Talk about some Lions Hard Knocks tonight, and get Sonia's idea of what she thinks is going to be happening in Detroit, along with another announcement that the draft will now be held in Detroit. So you got to love these towns that we're moving around in.
Exactly. I love it. I am so excited for that. But yes, it's going to be a great show, and I know the city of Detroit is super excited about it. And I saw all the buzz up and down Twitter, just the draft and Hard Knocks. I think most people were more excited about Hard Knocks, to be quite honest. But I think the draft is going to be just as fun, if not more fun.
Yeah, I think so too. And my only concern is what do you do in Detroit? What's in Detroit? What are we doing? What are we going to be doing in Detroit?
We're going to be eating great. We're going to be having some fun parties. It's going to be April, May-ish. So it's going to be April in the D, and just Pistons and Tigers. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun at that time. You're going to do a lot of stuff. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it later.
We're going to put it together.
Yes, you guys are going to love it. I mean, we already hosted a Super Bowl and everybody had a great time at the Super Bowl. Let me tell you, it was fantastic. It was so much fun. And so I don't see, I mean, obviously it's not going to be as big a scale as the Super Bowl, but there's still going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be in a really cool part of the city, Campus Martius, and Hart Plaza. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we have our guest joining us, Mr. Richmond Webb. So we are going to jump into some trenches. So let me go ahead and get Richmond in here and welcome him and get ready to go. And there he is. Speaking of in the trenches, Richmond Webb, Miami Dolphins, 7-time Pro Bowl Polar and Miami Dolphins Honor Rollie. Richmond Webb has joined the ladies tonight on our turf Tuesday.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing?
Good.
We're doing good.
I'm glad to be here. It's always good to be around some beautiful women. So I appreciate y'all for having me on the show.
Well, we appreciate you. Let me tell you that because we're gonna run some questions by you because Sonia and I we got some questions, Richmond, and I want you to help us out with them. You know, being a Dolphin fan last year was tough. Saw a lot of problems along that offensive line. You know, we're in a passing kind of a league here. Yep. You know, so Tua got roughed up, actually got hurt on, you know, that one play where Jesse Davis missed the block. So what I wanted to talk to you about is free agency. The Dolphins have made some big splashes. We signed a couple big offensive linemen, Richmond. We went ahead and got Terrell Armstead from the Saints. And we also signed guard Connor Williams. My question to you is Mike McDaniel's a little bit non-committal about the offensive line. Now, we pretty much know that Armstead's probably is going to be our left tackle. One thing came out, he pretty much assured those. You know, rest of the line's kind of questionable. Here's my question to you. When you have an offensive lineman that's comfortable, like say at right tackle or right guard, why can't you put them there? What's the versatility with these coaches that they have to kind of move these guys around? Where if you know they're comfortable, why don't we start them there?
Okay, let me ask you first, because you're saying who are we talking about when we say they're comfortable? I guess that need that, and then I can answer your question.
Well, when you let's take Liam Eachman. Let's take Liam. You know, he was a left tackle. Obviously, came in, thought he was kind of comfortable there. Now he moves to the right. Now we're talking about moving him to the right side. General coming out, Terrell Armstead, you know, talking to him. Where were you comfortable out? You know, well, where are you most comfortable at? You know, he comes out and says he was most comfortable at a right guard, right tackle, but mostly played left tackle for the Saints. But that's where you were comfortable at. So, you know, sometimes you go into there, it's like, well, like Michael Dieter, our center, you know, when he came in as center, the one game we went out to, did you take snaps? No, I never took a snap at center in training camp. It's like, but now you're playing center. So right. It's kind of throws me at what these coaches are thinking. It's like, okay, well, is it something they see that we don't in practice or?
Let me go player by player because
okay.
I get everything you're saying, but let me kind of break it down. So let me start with Terron Armstead from the Saints.
Okay.
And I always, when they signed him, I envisioned him as our left tackle because that's the position he's played.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you say that, if he's more comfortable at right, in a way, that would be a benefit to the Dolphins. And let me tell you why I say that. If he's more comfortable at right, the right side is Tua's blind side. So when he drops back, being a left quarterback, he's going to kind of face the left. He can't see what's coming behind him. So if Terron Armstead is more comfortable over there, they may switch him over there. But I thought when they signed him, he was going to be our left tackle and possibly Lynn Eichenberg and Austin Jackson would be moved to the right side to compete for that position. But now I hear this information that could change the game. So maybe Eichenberg stays at left tackle. I'm not for sure, but based on what you're saying. Okay. And then we went from him to Michael Dieter.
Dieter at center.
Right. At
center. He was a rookie last year.
Okay. He was a rookie, 3rd round pick. I remember I announced him at the draft. Okay. This is what you got to understand. When you're not the starter, you're gonna have to become like a swing man. So say like I got drafted by the Dolphins, then you're at right, she's at left, but I'm the backup tackle. If I'm the backup, the difference between college and pro, you probably have close to 90 guys on a college football team.
Mm-hmm.
Pros, it's got to be somewhere around 60. I think we kept around 50. It was a 53-man roster, but really, and you only dress 45 for the game. That could have changed since I played, especially with COVID. So a lot of time we would dress 8, but sometimes 7 linemen, just depending on if it was injuries or they needed more of the other positions. So if you dress 7 linemen, you got your 5 starters, you got 2 backups. So whoever the backups are, you normally gonna have a guy that can either play guard, tackle, or you're gonna have another guy that can play either guard, center. So as a backup, that's what makes your job tougher. You got to learn. You can't just say, well, I'm going to learn the left side or the right side. You got to be able to swing and maneuver however they want to, because at any given time, somebody goes down, you're the next man up.
Mm-hmm.
And was it somebody else? You mentioned somebody else too, wasn't it?
I got Austin, Dieter.
Eichenberg.
Eichenberg, yeah. Who struggled at left tackle.
Well, he struggled at right worse than he did at left. And this is what I can tell you, because I played on the left side my career.
Right.
And when you switch sides, like, it would probably be easier for him to make that adjustment this offseason if he really works on taking snaps on the right side. But it becomes like when you play on one side, that side is your dominant side. And when you go to the opposite side, it's like your weak side. It's like writing with your right hand. And I said, okay, now give me that pencil. I'm putting your left hand. Now I want you to write everything. And if you were signing checks, if I took it to the bank, they probably wouldn't cash it based on it. Like, no, this is not her signature.
Right.
So it's not that you can't do it, but sometimes it takes a longer time or process to kind of get comfortable on the opposite side. But if you're a backup, the benefit of that is you take reps on both sides during practice, so it doesn't affect you as much. But if you're a backup, you're typically not the best player, so you get the reps. But if you got to come in the game, sometimes it's a drop off too.
Okay, so versatility wise, when you came to the Dolphins, were you when you got drafted? It kind of me with when college guys are being talked to by the coaches and we're the Miami Dolphins of Richmond. We're thinking about drafting you. What can you bring to Dolphins? At that point in time, I just picture every college guy going, I'll play wherever you want me to, coach. I can do the left. I can do the right. I'll snap the ball. Is that the mentality of these players today coming out? It's like, we'll do anything to get on this team versus the veterans who come in and say, well, you know what? I'm more comfortable on the right side. You know what I mean? Is it something that you experienced when you came to the Dolphins? You would have done anything, played anywhere they wanted to?
I would have done it. And, the thing was, I think when I came, John Sandusky was my coach, and I remember him coming to take a visit to see me at Texas A&M before I got drafted. And then at the combine, where you're doing your workouts, you talk to different teams, but you talk to most of the time, if you're going to be a top draft pick, you're going to talk to several teams. So you really can't just say, well, Miami is going to draft me, because you just don't know. Somebody could take a player and throw the order all the way off. And so I did that. I did that during the Senior Bowl. Also played in that game. And then I was coached by the Philadelphia staff. So that's when Buddy Ryan was with the Eagles. And he coached me. And then I found out later, so I knew I had to be doing pretty good, because they said when I knew guys that played for Philly, they said Buddy really didn't talk to offensive players. So I kind of felt fortunate. I said, well, he talked to me, this and that. So it was pretty cool. But when I got drafted, I think the biggest adjustment for me was coming from Texas A&M. Back then, we ran the option. We were heavy running. We would pass the ball a little bit. So to come from from Texas A&M to Miami, where me and Keith got here, he was in the same system. They ran the option. And now we go from running the football probably 70% of the time. We throw the ball 80% of the time. So, and I had to get used to the 2-point stance because I did a little bit in college, but not at the level that I did in the NFL. But John Sandusky, the coach, he was one of the best at the time, and he
Yes,
really
he was.
worked with us to get us prepared. So through mini camp, we stayed down during the summer, and then we got a ton of reps in training camp because the 2 guys that were supposed to be starting were holding out for contracts. So we played the whole preseason. So him and Coach Shula had a plan, but it actually helped get us acclimated quicker to the speed of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing against savvy veterans that kind of know all the tricks of the trade, this and that, and that's what really helped our development. Some people pick it up quicker than others, but we were just fortunate. And it was, I think for me, it was good because we were both rookies. So it wasn't as much pressure if I was the only rookie on the line versus if me and Keith, I said, okay, if I mess up, and he's a rookie too, so I know I'm gonna mess up, so he gonna mess up, and we were there together. So that's kind of the way I looked at it.
So,
and that was
go ahead, Zoe.
I know. It's just like about different schemes. So like you said, like run first, pass first, does it matter then like which side of the ball or which side of the line that you are used to, in those different schemes and stuff? Or is it just like, yeah, I'm on passes, I'm more playing right guard, something like that? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying. And for some reason, I hadn't studied it lately, but I remember when I was in the league, most teams, they would run the football, but for some reason, it seems like they tend to run to the right more than they do the left side.
Okay.
And it's not because of the players. I think it's just, I don't know why, but it's just typically they do that. And then normally, a lot of times when you pass block, if you have a slide protection, you normally slide to your left side of the line because typically your better pass rushers are on that side because most quarterbacks are right-handed, and that's the blind side. So the NFL, they study every little thing and they break down percentages on everything. I remember getting the scouting reports, and a lot of times we would scout ourselves because after 3 or 4 games, if you get in this formation, you got an 80% chance you're going to pass. Well, that helps the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Where they say, well, it's a pretty good chance to pass. So guys say, well, I'm going to just fly off the ball. He might be wrong, but most of the time he's not. But you can take some chances in situations like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I can see that. And I think, and I'm wondering if when you're non-committal on the line, if that's something of a matchup thing. I mean, is there certain teams that you think will match up better where if Tua's getting a lot of pressure off that thing? And it was actually Connor Williams who said he felt more comfortable at left guard, which kind of like you said, if Tua's our quarterback, you almost want him on that right side because you want to shore up that right side. But I think do you think it's more of scheme things where players get moved to as far as matchups, or is if you're an offensive lineman, this is where you play, this is where you're going to stay as far as team to team, as game to game? Do you see any versatility that where guys will actually get moved because you'll have like say you're going up against the Rams, you got that Rams defense coming at you, are you going to possibly move guys to pick up the pressure that the Rams bring to you, or do you try to stay with the core guys from where they were when they started?
You keep the guys where they are, but you highlight that Aaron Donald is the immediate of concern. Wherever 99 lines up, we need to know where he is. And
that's your X guy, right? That's your X guy, right?
That's the X guy. And even if you say, hey, okay, we're going to either slide the protection to him, or you guys kind of double where you got Aaron Donald and maybe the middle linebacker, you 2 guys kind of work together, because if the linebacker drops or he doesn't blitz, now you still got 2 guys on Aaron Donald, which is the thing you need. If you can kind of control him, that really takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback. So we would look at not so much as saying, okay, if this guy here, we're going to move you over here, over there. No. And then the thing, I guess that might have been one of the attractive things with Connor Williams, if he feels more comfortable on the right side, because I thought he played left guard for Dallas, but Dallas had a pretty good offensive line. So when it's a veteran that's already holding it down there, if you're going to play, you got to play where they, you know what I'm saying, they tell you to play. So
right.
now he's coming to Miami where we didn't have a good offensive line. He can possibly kind of throw that out there and say, well, hey, really, I feel more comfortable over here. So, they'll probably move over there. But I thought Hunt played pretty good at the right guard. So
he did. He did. I think the rumors that I'm hearing from the locker room and stuff is that he'll probably stay there. They're going to probably keep him on that right side.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, and I would possibly think that maybe Eichenberg or I would too. I mean, I think that the right side, like you said, is going to be the judge. But I think, like you said, the leadership of bringing in a veteran is also huge. Am I not right? Thinking that Armstead and Williams will come in and, like you said, will take over that leadership role of saying where your ex guys are coming or what they're seeing along the lines of the leadership. Which I kind of thought the last couple of years, I thought our offensive line lacked that. Richmond, I thought we lacked that true leadership quality on that line.
Yeah, I mean, it was that, and it was also, I thought they had a really young offensive line coach as well. So when you got a really young group and a coach that's probably not saying he don't know what he's doing, but the experience does make a difference, especially when the game's crunch time, this and that, to settle the troops down, this and that. And I think Mike McDaniel got a better mix of some veteran coaches, some young coaches, and probably guys that's used to help developing guys are saying, okay, I see what's wrong with him. I think I can work with him and we can possibly fix that. Or at least give him an opportunity. And they say, well, he just don't have it. So maybe we need to possibly trade him or try to get somebody else in there. That's the thing with a veteran, because he just seen a lot more of it being a coach and saying, okay, that there. And I think that's what's going to happen with Eichenberg and Austin Jackson. Like I always, when we took Austin Jackson, I looked at the highlights and stuff, very athletic, this and that. The thing that kind of concerned me was he was 20 years old when he got drafted by the Dolphins. So I knew he could play, but sometimes it's the maturity, this and that, just not getting enough reps added to. It's different in college than playing in the pros. It's just, the speed of it's different. You might play against a guy that's been playing 2 years. You might play against a guy that's been playing 10 years. But if he's been playing 10 years, you better be ready, because he knows everything to look for to get the edge. So, that's the difference. But he's shown he's got to be more consistent, and that's with both of them. And I'm hoping this new coach can come in and kind of fix those little areas, and we should be good to go.
Oh man, I tell you, you know what? We've taken up a lot of your time, and I thank you so much for coming on with us. I want to thank you so much for answering these questions, because, like I said, it was just I just wanted to talk to you, because I was like, I know who's going to know these questions, these answers to the questions that I have in my head. It's going to be Richmond, and I sure do, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you down in Miami this season. So
I'll be there. What you our turf? What is that on your shirt?
Our Turf Football, Our Turf Media.
You representing over there. Okay, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah. And and of course I cover the Dolphins, so I've been down the press. I've seen you a couple times, but I don't like to bother you. I just come say hi.
You don't bother me. Just come up and say hello. No, don't do
that.
I
will. And Sonia there, she's got old Dan Campbell as her head coach. She beat for the Detroit Lions.
Texas A&M. Him and Aaron Glenn. You tell them, say yeah. Tell them I say hello. Them Aggies, them good people. We treat people good. Yeah, we've been raised the right way down here in College Station, so you in good hands.
That's right. Yes, we are.
Because we were just talking about that. Old Dan Campbell was going to be on some Hard Knocks, Richmond, so we're going to get to see some Texas A&M come out in them, right?
Yes, we
are. Well, y'all got a good lineman up there. Y'all got out the draft last year.
Penny.
I was hoping we could get him, but yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he is.
He's real good. He was good here, but he's going to be.
And I think they had him at right side, and they moved him back to the left. And
we were talking about that before you came on the show.
Exactly what they do. They they pull him around, but he's a good one, and I think that he's gonna hopefully be a decent player, a very decent player.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be one of the best. Yeah, he's got a lot of upside. I like him. I like him coming out of college.
Everybody loves him. So yeah.
I was so jealous. But
we can't get them all. We got to share some of them now. We can't get them all.
Well, again, thank you so much, sir. I will definitely be seeing you this season down in Miami. And you have an open invitation to come back. Hopefully you'll come back and join us again sometime during the season, and we'll jump right back into the trenches.
I'll be happy. Y'all just let me know.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
y'all have a good
Richmond.
one. All right.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
That was
He's
great.
so awesome.
He was so nice.
He's so awesome. Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times down here. Like I said, he's so busy. Everybody just, loves talking to him. So just in passing. So I was like, when I asked him if he'd come on the show, I was like, I know you won't remember me because, I'm not one of those crazy people that came up to you and were like, oh my God, you're the best. But, because that's my era. Those are my boys, him and Keith Sims locked that down for Marino. And I always kind of joke with them because it's with Marino, like you said, he had such a quick release. You didn't really have to block too hard. You really just got to, because by that time Marino would have that ball out. So, I think those boys locked it down. So, but I love jumping in the trenches with them because, like I said, and even with Detroit, with what we were talking about right before the show, Benelli, the guys you guys grabbed and locked it down there. So that was fun. I really want to thank him for coming on. He was great.
He was very. We gotta have him back.
Oh yeah, we'll have him back. So one of the things that we got to keep rolling. So we're going to keep rolling because we'll get, the boss will start texting us here and getting off subject. So one of the things, owners meetings, full swing down here in West Palm Beach County. A lot of things getting done. One of the things that was the biggest gripe last season, and we talked about it on the show, and everybody's opinion was overtime.
Yes.
So the overtime rules have been changed. It was approved that will ensure both teams will receive a possession in overtime. This will only apply to the postseason, however. So Roger Goodell released a statement saying that they've listened to the fans. They understand that they did the data. There was a credential thing that the person who won the team that won the toss, the average seemed to. So I thought we talked about that, and I thought they said that it wasn't, but apparently, I guess the data proved that the home team or whoever won the toss had the percentage that they would win the game. Because I think the overtime rule went: if you got a field goal, the other team got a possession. If you scored a touchdown, the game was over.
Right. Exactly.
So now that's all over. That's all over with. So we're going to get a possession. You agree with this? I don't remember where we all stood on it. I think I was okay with it. I saw no problem. If you can't stop them, you can't stop them. I don't know. I kind of think that's how I was.
I kind of am both ways. Like, I'm not mad at it. It's okay. It's fair. Both teams get a possession, but I'm kind of like with you. This is the postseason, and if you want to try and stop them. You got to stop them. So, that's been my thought, but I'm not mad at the fact that they say, okay, yeah, let's have both teams have a possession. Because again, if you are the team that you think you are, and the opposite team gets the possession and they couldn't stop you, now you got to stop them on defense. And if you can, you can. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
See, I like the fact that that's postseason. That we'll see how this plays out in the postseason, because I think that was the biggest gripe was, especially, teams that, and then he says, we're always looking to improve. And I think what really drove the decision was the database. Ultimately, looking at the facts and what happened, 12 games in the postseason that had been in overtime, 7 of which were won by the first possession.
Yeah. And
so,
especially like how big of a difference could that have made this past season, with those 3 games going to overtime, those couple of weekends in the playoffs, like that could have been huge. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay. Look, boss is in the house. Boss is in the house. Look. See, I want to screenshot that because Dana talked about quarterbacks. Look at that. Quarterback-driven league, which we are. We definitely are. And she's so right about that. We are definitely a quarterback-driven league, which, as you guys know, I love. So, but that's going to bring us into our next subject of Baker Mayfield.
That dude. I really do.
The problem that I see with Baker right now is the market, Sonia. There's no market for him. There's no team that is like, you heard Carolina, but, Carolina's, got like what I think 12 million I heard into Darnold this
Mhm.
season. So they're not kind of looking. Where is what other teams? Where are we looking at?
There are none. There are none. I mean, I would have possibly thought the Falcons, but they obviously went with Mariota. Okay. The Saints just picked up Andy Dalton, so that's kind of
and that to me slammed the door and made it even tougher. And so here's my question to you: can you see him staying in Cleveland?
No, I don't think he wants to stay there. Like, he's not going to stay there. He is not. And God forbid if something happens to Deshaun Watson, because what's that going to be like? Is he going to throw the game? Like, not throw the game, but how's his attitude going to be? Like, just, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. He's not going to stay.
Seattle's the only team I see him landing. I can't help it. I cannot make a pitch for any other team but Seattle. I can't.
No.
The Saints closed the door when they sold it, when they signed Andy Dalton to me. The Falcons signed Mariota, like you said. The Panthers are obviously not interested one bit, regardless. I'm sure they probably stink, but what does Cleveland want for him? I mean, the only logical team that I can come up with is the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Let me think. I'm just going through the line. No,
Or do you hold on to them right before or through training camp to see if maybe one of these starters falls, or if somebody else doesn't pan out, what the team doesn't think? I mean, is that another option for the Cleveland Browns?
That is an option. I mean, every preseason somebody goes down with, an ACL or, an Achilles or something. So yeah, I mean, he could hang around for that, but yeah, it's not looking too bright from a man.
It's a soft market. It's a bad market for him. It's not like you have, before we had a lot of teams, but like I said, and Danny had to wait for somebody to get hurt training. I think so too. I was listening to a couple of radio shows today, and I think everybody's kind of saying the same thing. It looks like they might hold on to him now through training camp to see if something, because there's just no market with him. Like I said, the only team I see is Seattle at this point. I don't see anybody else pulling the trigger. And at this point, I think Seattle could just steal him for maybe a third or fourth round or second. I
easily.
At first I thought, with everybody needing quarterbacks, I had a first round grade. I thought, maybe they'll get a first rounder from. Now I'd be lucky if they get third. I mean, as soft as this market's gone. So listen, I did. We hit a little bit on Texas A&M, and I busted on your Lions a little bit about, but you've got to be psyched that you're going to be on HBO. You've got to be. Hard Knocks is coming to Detroit. I mean, how exciting!
You know what? And I think it's a great year to do it because everybody likes Dan Campbell for the most part, and I think that he's shown a lot of emotion. He's shown a lot of pride for Detroit. And I think that that's going to be such a good thing just to kind of help us get, just a different vibe around the team. And there is a different vibe around the team right now. And people like Campbell. People, he's such the player's coach, and people are liking to play for him. It's just going to be everything great. And then Jamal Williams is going to be hilarious on that show if they got to get with him. He's got to be mic'd up for a while because he's so funny. So it's just going to be really good just to finally see a different side of the team after the Patricia era. I think the Campbell era is hopefully going to get off to a better start this season, and Hard Knocks is only going to help, I think.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell's no stranger to Hard Knocks. He was featured on Hard Knocks down here when the Dolphins were on Hard Knocks. He was our tight end coach, so he was on several episodes. So so he's very familiar with Hard Knocks. So I'm sure he's equally
off, actually.
What's that?
Jared Goff is familiar with Hard Knocks as well. So
that's true. That's right. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Hard Knocks veterans.
Yeah. So they know what's up. So they'll put some good stuff together for us, along with you and I hit a little bit right before Richmond came on, along with the draft. The NFL announced that the NFL draft will be held in Detroit. And look at your face. Y'all excited about that. My first thing was like, what the hell are we going to do in Detroit? But Sonia's told me there's a lot to do in Detroit.
there's a lot to do in Detroit. There's some great food. Shout out Freddie the pizza man. Make sure you stop by his spot. David Portnoy gave him an 8.7. He'll tell anybody this, but Freddie's also a great dude. So yeah, so the Freddie's pizza is gonna be there. Like, it's just pizza. You're gonna get your conies. You have to get a coney, either American or Lafayette, which the draft will be right up the street from where those are, because you can't go to Detroit and not have a coney. There's great clubs. There's just great atmosphere. It's going to be right downtown. It's going to be April in Detroit, so it's already going to be kind of buzzing with the Tigers and, the Pistons finishing up every town. And even Canada's right across the street. So you're good. You're going to have fun.
And you certainly can hit Sonia up on Twitter, and she's going to send you all the spots if you guys want to head to Detroit during that draft, because that's something. Now you got me all excited. I might just head to Detroit for the draft.
Come on, let's go.
Just go check it out. Maybe we might, maybe our turf stomping grounds will head up to the draft when it's in Detroit and
do that.
Take over. We should do that.
And it's not, prices will go up, I'm sure, but it's not like a Vegas or a New York City where it's astronomical, but it's a slightly more affordable, but still it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, that's great. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us this evening. I thought we did good. We did good. I feel pretty good. I think we wrapped it up, and like I said, once again, thank former Miami Dolphin Richmond Webb, kind of giving us some great insight on the offensive line, as far as the rules changes. And we're going to have a packed show for you definitely next week. We're going to hit some salary cap conversations. So it's going to be a packed show. Really looking forward to that one. So for me and Sonia tonight, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Once again, thank you, Donkeys Cheesesteaks, for your great sponsorship. Y'all get up there New Jersey's way. Make sure you stop in, tell them the Our Turf Girls sent you. They'll do some donkey cheesesteak giveaways too. So, look for that. So, yeah. So, if you go in there and tell them Our Turf Girls sent you, they're going to get you a cheesesteak. So you will look for those coming soon. Okay. For now, I'm Lisa Johnson. This is Sonia Greenfield. And we're peacing out.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good week.
Peace out, you guys. End it, right? End it.